I used to think I had the perfect marriage. My husband was charming, attentive, and loved me in ways that made others envious. We laughed often, shared deep conversations, and connected in a way most people spend a lifetime searching for. 2. The outside world. We were the ideal couple, flawless, inseparable. But underneath the surface, something unspoken simmered. It began subtly. I noticed how he looked at me in public, not just with affection, but with a curious intensity whenever another man noticed me. At first, I chalked it up to pride, the kind a man feels when others admire his wife. But over time, it became clear it was more than that. He didn't just tolerate the attention. He welcomed it, encouraged it. He would urge me to wear dresses that flattered my figure, smile when strangers complimented me. Rather than jealousy, he seemed amused, almost like he was orchestrating it. It felt odd, but I told myself it was harmless fun. Then came the dinner party. One of his colleagues paid me particular attention, bold, confident, his gaze lingering too long. I expected my husband to intervene, to claim me in some way. Instead, he simply watched. Later, on the ride home, he brought it up. He couldn't stop looking at you, he said smoothly. I tried to laugh it off, called it politeness. But then he asked, "You liked it, didn't you?" I wanted to deny it, but I had liked it. The attention, the charge in the air, and the way my husband seemed to feed off that tension, it sent a shiver through me. From that night on, it became a game, an unspoken challenge. He would push me toward situations where I'd be seen, admired. At first, I played along. But gradually, I began to crave it, the power of being wanted, and knowing he was watching, waiting. And then, the game changed. It happened by chance. A stranger in a cafe, a conversation that felt different, alive. His name was Daniel. We barely knew each other, yet something clicked. It wasn't just flirting. There was a pull I couldn't ignore. I told my husband, expecting anger or suspicion. Instead, he listened. "And did you like it?" he asked, voice low and measured. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. After that, Daniel became a quiet presence in my life. We exchanged messages, careful not to cross any obvious lines, but everything carried an edge. A whisper of what could be. My husband never told me to stop. He watched, always watching. One night, as I dressed for an event, he adjusted the strap on my shoulder and asked, "Will you see him tonight?" I whispered, "I don't know." He met my eyes in the mirror and smiled slowly, deliberately. "You should." I didn't know what stunned me, more his words or how they made me feel. That night, I went. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to understand the depth of this game. Was it permission? A test? A dare? Daniel was waiting. His smile held no questions, only certainty. We talked, we laughed, and when his hand brushed mine, I didn't pull away. I didn't need more to know I had crossed a line. Back home, my husband waited. He scanned my face, read me effortlessly. Then he said the words he always said, "Tell me everything." And I did. It wasn't just about Daniel anymore. It was about how this changed us, changed me. My husband looked at me differently now. Not with anger, not with hurt, but something darker. Something I couldn't name. And I liked it. The lies came quietly at first, excuses, hidden messages, moments stolen in the shadows. It hadn't turned physical, not yet. But the secrecy was its own drug. The way Daniel leaned in, the way he looked at me like he knew. I couldn't get enough. Every night, I came home to a man who didn't ask me to stop. He only asked for details. "Did he touch you?" "Not really." "Do you want him to?" The first time he asked, I couldn't speak. But he already knew. Then one night, Daniel made a move. A direct invitation, no excuses, no pretense, just us. Alone. I showed my husband the message. He read it, then looked at me. "Are you going?" "I don't know." He stepped closer, fingertips brushing my skin. "If you do, I want to hear everything." It wasn't a warning. It wasn't permission. It was a dissent. I told myself I wouldn't go, but as soon as I left the house, I knew I was lying. The night felt heavier, the silence around me louder. This wasn't about drinks or conversation anymore. This was a threshold. My phone buzzed. A message from my husband. "Where are you?" I could have lied, I had before. But this time, I didn't. I typed 2 words, "with him." His reply came instantly. I know, Daniel could sense the change in me when I arrived. He said nothing, just smiled, like he had been waiting. I wanted to blame him. But the truth was, I had chosen this. With every step, every secret, when he touched Me. It was like striking a match immediate. Devouring. I didn't stop it. I didn't want to. I don't know how long I stayed. Only that when I left, I wasn't the same woman who had walked in. I drove home in silence. Skin still tingling, breath shallow. I stepped inside and saw him waiting. He didn't speak, just looked at me, and I knew he had always known this is where it would lead. He had been waiting for the fall, for me to come back changed. I opened my mouth to speak, to explain, but he pulled me into him before I could. His grip was firm, reclaiming, like I had never stopped being his. And then, he whispered the only thing he ever truly wanted to hear, "Tell me everything."